one thing you need after a full day's travel. We left Bhubaneswar at 6 o'clock this morning and we arrived in Ahmedabad at 7 o'clock in the evening, and it takes more than 1 hour to get from city to city. We did get delayed in Delhi for 4.5 hours, but on arrival, the one thing we need is a little bit of man pampering. I've gone for the foot massage, Harmy's gone for the head and neck massage, and Chetan's gone for the beard trim and a little bit of a condition. So we're relaxing, trying to. It really has been a long day's travel. No one's complaining because we've got another one-day international to look forward to at the biggest cricket stadium in the world, the Narendra Modi Stadium here in Ahmedabad. Lots to talk about, including the absence of Jacob Bethell from the Champions Trophy squad. Well, the feet feel absolutely fabulous. The rest of me is still a bit dusty, but the feet, the plates of meat, absolutely brilliant. Harmy, you look nice and fluffy, relaxed. Yeah, you look nicely trimmed, Chets.
Nice and refreshed after that epic day. What was it? The first plane had a flat tire. It's a good job we didn't get going. Me sitting above the wing with a flat tire, wasn't it? So yeah, it was a welcome thing that the tire got pumped up before we finally made it to Delhi, and then we had nice bit of chicken while we were in Delhi before we set off to get Ahmedabad, which is nice to be here.
I have to say the airports are nothing like they used to be in this country.
Well, across the length and breadth, we're going to have around 70 more airports. So yeah, it's not stopping anytime soon. So the infrastructure is developed nicely. The roads, you love the roads in Bhubaneswar and in Ahmedabad as well. So the infrastructure has really come up. We maybe perhaps need 1 or 2 more airlines because we just now have the 2. It'll be nice to have, just spread out and, just increase the network across the country. By the way, he also had a big chocolate cookie.
I did have a big chocolate cookie, but I want to let you into a secret. I'm a big lad.
Takes more than one to fill him up.
I mean, you don't get this size eating salad. You get it this size eating big chocolate cookies, don't you?
Can I just tell you how far Air India has come? I remember the day, and I missed a flight 20 years ago, and I said, when's the next one? And they said, Tuesday. To this time, we only had to wait 4 hours. I spent 24 hours on the airport floor waiting for a flight. Anyway, let's move on to the cricket. I said we'd talk about Jacob Bethell. We thought it was going to be minor, Harmy. Well, we hoped it would be minor, but he's out of the Champions Trophy, so there's some shuffling of the chairs on the deck to be done.
Yeah, there are. Obviously, it's disappointing for Jacob, really disappointing, because I think his talent and his trajectory of his talent, it would have been nice to showcase it in a world event against 3 different nations, potentially a knockout, and if England were obviously successful to go all the way, because I think he was a starter. I really do. I think Jacob was a starter in this team. He's a gun fielder. As the tournament goes on, he would be, I think, more influential with his bowling, and we've seen glimpses. I think we've seen glimpses of his career so far that what people are sort of seeing his ceiling level. I think we've seen it in the international arena. So it would have been nice to see him in a world event, but it's not to be for him. The intriguing one is Banton, because where does he fit in? I spoke on air about when reading a story about his struggles in last year, I think it was, or the year before, and somebody who has had struggles during my career and after my career.
Mental struggles.
It was brilliant to hear him talk, one, honestly, and openly, to identify that he needed help, and he's obviously getting help, and then to come out the other side. I mean, that's a test of character in itself. So good for him on that front. Even better that he's been identified for selection. He's gone away. He's obviously worked on his game. He's done well in the franchise circuit, and now he's been given a chance. But the problem I see going forward is Jacob Bethell, a left-arm spinner, batting at number 7, as opposed to Tom Banton, a top-order wicketkeeper batter. I mean, we've already got 3. I think we've already got 3 top-order wicketkeeper batters in the team. Do we need a 4th? But it's how do we shuffle a pack to get where I think our problem position is, that number 7 in the England team. And if you go, right, we're going to put a batter in higher up, you're going, well, everybody moves down 1. don't want Joe Root moving anywhere, so he would be 3. So Banton would have to come in at number 4, and if everybody moves down 1, for me that doesn't fit, because I don't want Harry Brook coming in any later, and I definitely don't want Jos Buttler coming in any later than what he does. So Banton might have to play that number 7 role if he comes into it.
It's just England following the Indian trend of not going like for like replacement. I mean, we've already seen them have a leg spinning all-rounder replace a wicketkeeper. It's not like for like, is it?
No, it's not. It's not like for like. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I really hope Jamie Smith's going to be fit, because he's going to solve a lot of problems by him being the number 7. But still, it's a 5. If England want to win the Champions Trophy, and it's a big if from where they are at this moment in time. But you never know, because tournament play is completely different. You've seen what happened to India in the 50 over World Cup not long ago. They were the best team in the tournament throughout the group stage, and then all of a sudden you just get the rub of the green, or somebody plays an absolute worldie of an innings, and you're scratching your head going, how on earth did they not win the trophy? So England are getting better, and that's the saying something, because the bar's been pretty low from the 2020s, but they've been playing against a good side. So as it goes, I'm hoping that Smith then fits in at number 7, and then you've got 4 bowlers. But that means you're going to have to fiddle 10 overs between probably Liam Livingstone and Joe Root, something I'm not sure England want to do. If they pick Overton at 7, then I think England are really, really light on batting.
Let's talk Jasprit Bumrah, can we, Chets? I've been looking forward to seeing him, and I know that I'm not the only one. I'm probably 1 in a billion in this country, anyway. But he's not been around the team, has he? That doesn't mean much, because the Indian media communications department don't give much away, do they?
Well, first of all, thanks for rubbing that in, that India did not win the World Cup, and we were scratching our heads, and I will be scratching my head when we visit the Narendra Modi Stadium tomorrow or day after, because the last time I was here, it was November 19, the World Cup final, and now that I look back at it, how did this Indian team not win the World Cup? It's just, we're not supposed to talk about it, so let's zip. Yeah, talking about Jasprit Bumrah, look, he is not part of the Indian team here, because India are not practicing tomorrow. Neither are England, by the way. But India are not practicing, and you would think that a bowler who's been out of the game for 5 weeks, he would do some kind of a warm-up or activity if he had to play the 3rd ODI on Wednesday. So that's not really happening. And I've heard news that he's probably gone to Bengaluru for some scans and another checkup. So I doubt he's going to play on Wednesday, and if not, then that's a very big blow. Now India are in a quandary whether to continue having him in the Champions Trophy squad in hope that he'll be fit for the initial games, or maybe the New Zealand game, which is on 2nd March, and then towards the knockouts, perhaps, because he is Jasprit Bumrah after all. Or do you bring in the replacement now? Mind you, India only have 3 full-time pacers in their 15-man squad. The date is Feb 12, when they have to make a change. Yes, we do not get a lot of information, but I suspect that before the game on Wednesday, perhaps this time tomorrow, we will hear something official from the BCCI regarding this.
Okay, losers need to improve, winners need to groove. That's the old theory anyway. So how do England go about playing this game with the series gone? And also, from an Indian perspective, many a captain has said that these are the hardest games to win, the ones that don't matter when you've already won the series. Would you like to see England playing their strongest team, the team that most they want to line up against Australia in the first game in the Champions Trophy?
England play Australia on the 22nd of February, and I'd like England to play their team. Their team, because I think they're getting better on this. They're getting better in the ODIs. I think they did some really good stuff on in the second ODI. I think the platform was set. Somebody just didn't go on. If somebody goes on, one of them 60s turns into a 100, like Rohit Sharma did, then all of a sudden England get 340, and then India would still fancy themselves. India would have still fancied themselves to chase it, but the pressure on that would have been a little bit different because just because of the enormity of the number. So I'd like to see England play their full strength. I'd like to see them go. They might have to, obviously, because there's a couple of niggling injuries, but I would like to see them go with their full bowling attack. What that bowling attack is, I'm not 100% sure, and I still think England are not 100% sure which is the best combination, whether Wood and Archer play together, whether they rotate them, whether Carse is the man or whether Overton's the man. One thing I do know is I don't think England can win this tournament with a Jamie Overton, and nothing against Jamie Overton, but Jamie Overton at number 7. I think Jamie Overton should be fighting with Bryden Carse at number 8, with Wood and Archer and Rashid. And I think that's the way I would go with my lineup. And if I wanted to rotate either Archer or Wood, then I think Saki Mahmood's done a good enough job so far in this series to challenge that spot. Just finally on the Jasprit Bumrah one, he's Jasprit Bumrah. For me, you can replace. You can replace Jasprit Bumrah at any time, and I mean I would even go up to the morning of the final, and if he's to take him that far, because he's Jasprit Bumrah, he's the best in the world. So that would be my take on from an Indian point of view. It's like having a World Cup. It's like going to a football World Cup with your best striker. You know, Ronaldo 15 years ago. You don't replace him until you have to replace him. So I think I would imagine that's what India will do.
Just put him in the squad and carry him around in a sedan chair.
It's a 14-man squad. That's good enough to get me through the group games. We might get the semi-final, more than the semi-final. If he's not fit, we'll replace him just in case we have another injury. But he's Jasprit Bumrah. You have to give him every chance.
Yeah, I agree with that. And because he's Jasprit Bumrah, pure and simple, he's Superman in the Indian uniform. But look, it is a big decision to be made, because if he's not fully fit, then there's a big England tour also coming up, and he's had issues with his back in the past. So you don't really want to put more stress or undue stress on that. So yeah, like I said, I agree with what Harmy said, because he's Jasprit Bumrah. But remember, he would also have been out. Even if you play him on the day of the semi-final, he would have been out for 8 weeks since that Sydney Test match. So does he come in and perform immediately? That's a big question mark. It's out of my pay grade, and I'm happy it's out of my pay grade. Answering your question about how India would approach this, first of all, like Harmy said so many times, India's second string squad is good enough to beat this England side. Sorry to rub that in. But I think India will be looking to make some changes, if not a lot of changes. I think they would want to give Rishabh Pant a go, KL Rahul, whether he'll be given another go. Washington Sundar, perhaps. He's not batted a lot. Ravindra Jadeja's looked good, so maybe give him a bit of a rest. So at the top, bring in Yashasvi Jaiswal once again, see how he opens with Rohit. Maybe Rohit will rest now that he's got 100. No. Or Shubman will rest.
Rohit wanted a game. Rohit wanted a game this morning. I mean, after that performance, Rohit wanted a game this morning. He wants a game tomorrow, and he wants a game the next day when it's off the back.
But like I said, maybe 3 or 4 changes ringing in for India. I think they will change or tweak their combination to give game time to some of the players in there. And that could be good enough to beat England again.
Okay, every ball live and exclusive on talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2 and the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel. So we look forward to your company once again tomorrow, and then game time on Wednesday. Right now, it's biryani time.